Okay, so this is our 309 project final demo recording. Our project's called CoPlanner, as you can see right there. It pretty much is so that you can join groups with schedules, and it gives you the ability to make schedules and compare them with other people's, and it will auto-generate things for groups, which is pretty nice. We'll start by looking at a dev account. Developers have a few special tools that nobody else has access to. So we'll log in at this dev one. Dev users can't just be created because that would be bad. So this was made ahead of time. And so they have regular features of a user, which we'll talk about later. But we're going to start with the developer tools. So pretty much a developer has the option to view all the users and view the groups that are on the database. We've reset a few times, so we don't have too many users right now, but you can see all the users that currently exist. And then you can search for users if you want to. So like I know there's a few Brians in here. We'll search for Brian. Yeah, we got 2 Brians currently on the database. Then we'll go back and you can see all the names again. The dev also has the option to create a user. So we'll do that for add. This is pretty similar to the just making a user account, which we'll do later. But for now, we'll make a just delete me, delete me, create account. And then we'll want to view that user. It's this one without the name because we have to give it a username. So we're just going to name it something because we're getting rid of it later. But yeah, so this is what the user page will look like. And then the dev also has the option. So like if we go back, it'll have updated here. And yeah, we got get rid of me. And then the dev also has the option to delete users. So we click on that and then we can get rid of me as we're supposed to. And then once we click back on view, we can look at any of these users. So like if we wanted to look at Brian, it's just Brian17 at iowastate.edu. And we can see his information here. But that's it for the view users. And then view groups is pretty similar. You can search just like with the other thing if you want to. There's not nearly as many groups. We don't have a function for creating groups from the dev part because if you were to create it without the host, because whoever creates the group will be the host, that'd cause some issues on the back end as far as things being connected. So it makes most sense for us just to be able to view and delete groups from the back. So if we want to look at like the information for this test group, we can see its description and like we can look at all these features of it, which we will do with members later. So we'll come back to that. And then we'll go back out of this and then we're back at the dev. So we'll log out and we'll log into an account that's already made earlier and have him make a group, and we'll also look at one of his schedules, which I made earlier. Let's see if I remember the password. There we go. Yeah, so we got John Smith here. And then we'll look at his schedules. So you can both edit and view schedules. We'll be making a schedule on a little bit later, but we'll start by viewing this guy. So that's his primary schedule, which has nothing. We want to look at government things. So pretty much John here's got work every day, and you can look at his information for it. It'll tell you like a start time and end time and how important it is. 5 is utmost importance, so John cares about his work a lot. So like he's got work a few days of the week here he put in, and then like on Friday he's got an event, which is an importance of 3. So like he wants to do it, but it's not as important. Everything else is just empty, so it has 0. It's really on a scale of 0 to 5, with 0 being nothing and 1 being something very unimportant. So that's pretty much it for his schedule. So we'll go back and we'll go to groups now, and you have the option always to join a group or create a group. We'll have John create a group here. We'll just have it demo group. I should spell group right. And then we'll give it a description, group for the demo video. And we get to pick a schedule. So we'll want government things because the other one's blank. So we'll create this group, and then you can view your groups once you're in some. So like he just made this so that he's in it. So we can see that the join group code is 8. So we'll use that information for the next people who we're going to have join this group. And then we can see the description, and then like we can look at the members list, which is just going to be him right now. So we'll come back to that. Most of these features we'll look at later. This create group schedule, this is a button that only he'll have because he's the host of the group, but we aren't going to do that just yet because we'll want more members in it in their schedules before we create one for the group. So we'll log out here and we'll log into another account that already exists. joe@prez.com. Oh yeah. And so we can view his schedule as well. We want. So we could make a new schedule if we wanted to. We'll do that on the final user that we'll look at. But so this is his. We'll see he's got work every day. Maybe talk to some reporters. Yeah, Joe's a pretty busy guy, I'm sure. But yeah, we can see again, very important. And the different colors represent different importance. So like this light blue is a 1. It's not super important. Opposed to like his work, which here it's a 4, so it's pretty important. Or earlier he had it as a 5, so like utmost importance. And blue is a 2, which means like he wants to do it, but it's not really that important. Yeah, and so then we'll have him go to groups and he'll just join that group from before. So the group we just made that had a join code of 8, as we saw. So we'll pick the White House schedule and then we'll have him join that group. And then back to group lists. Yeah, we can see he's in demo group now. This is one way before. That button we talked about, that is just for host. It doesn't show up for him. So we have to worry about him accidentally doing something as not the host of the group. And then we'll log back out. And this time we'll create an account. So this one will just have user@demo.final. Give him a password, which you'll want to enter in twice. It'll check for passwords, so like our username. So if we didn't have this right, it'll tell us, hey, that's invalid. It's got to be an actual email. So now we can create the account and then we can log back in. It'll bring us right over there. Now we got user@demo.final. Log in. And it'll prompt us to enter a name. We saw this earlier in the dev. It's pretty similar here. So we'll just call this guy Steve. And you can enter in a phone number. The phone number also has to be entered in correctly. So I can't just like do 3 digits. It'll be upset with you for doing that. So we'll just do a random phone number there. And then we'll go and we'll create a schedule this time. So we'll add a new one. We'll just call this Steve's Sketch. We do probably want a space there. So we'll add that, and you can see it's now on the schedule list. Before it wasn't. I guess I didn't. So if we were to add another one, you can see that it gets added. But we're going to mess with Steve's Sketch for now. So we'll edit it. You can do that. And this will look pretty similar to how it was when viewing. You can create an event. So let's say he also has work. He'll get up pretty early, but that also means he gets off relatively early, which is nice. He's all about that work. And you can type in an event description if you want to. That way other people can look at it. And then if we decided something we wanted to change about this, we can click on it. Again, maybe we want to say change the time. So actually he's going to start at 6 on Monday. So maybe we'll change that time and we can edit the info and see it's updated. So now it's at 6. And then we'll add some work on Tuesday as well, from probably about the same times. And maybe Tuesday's work's not quite as important. I don't know. So we'll just add that. And then maybe we'll give him some weekend plans like brunch on Saturday morning. And then this would be an example of something that's probably not as important. And I just closed it. Whoops. So we'll say, yeah, an importance of 1, submit that. And then as you can see, this is just going to be 1 hour. It's going to be light blue because it's not too important. But now that we've got that sketch, we can go back to the groups. And we'll go to join the group. We'll type in 8 because that's the group we made earlier and want to join, and we'll pass in Steve's schedule. We'll join that group. We can look, we can see, yeah, so we're back in that group that we saw earlier, and we can look at the members list now because we can see that there's all 3, and we have the ability to like view these guys. So if we click on them, but yeah, if we click view and then click on them, we can see their information. So like we can see his email and his phone number and then his username, so we can go back. And then we'll back out. We have search, but there's not a lot of people in this group, so it doesn't really make sense. Another user seems to have joined the group while we were waiting, so maybe we'll go to the group chat and maybe try to talk to this other user. Hey, look, I'm guessing that's one of my fellow companions on the team, so we'll just say hello and send that. See, he said hello too. We can see in the group chat, it'll tell us the name when they enter, but it'll give you their email. He's actually user at demo.final I am, and he's at final.demo. But so yeah, you can go ahead, and this is our WebSockets. And you can just talk back and forth a little bit so that the group can maybe communicate about some stuff. And it'll make sure to tell you who's there communicating. And then if they leave, it'll give them a message for that too. So we can see he's not there anymore. And then he's back again. So some pretty useful stuff there for seeing the group. And then we'll go ahead and get out of that. And then if we go ahead and back out of this, we're going to want to go back a few pages and then, yeah, go back. And we'll back to our thing, and we'll just log back out of here. And then we'll log back in as that first user who created the group, because we want to make our schedule that's unique to this group. So the host has to do that with the button that we showed earlier that disappears. So see, we've got this, and it'll tell us, so we created a schedule. So then we'll want to look at this, and we already did the members list in the group chat. We can still see all that stuff, but now we've got this schedule we can look at. So pretty much it took all the events of those schedules we were looking at, and it kind of compiled them and got averages to see like who's busy when. So like this would be a pretty bad time to schedule a group meeting because most of the people are going to be pretty busy. The average importance is a 4 here, opposed to like here, the average importance is a 1. So somebody's doing something, but it's not super important. And you can see all this white space, which is just nobody's doing anything. So that's probably when you're going to shoot to schedule your meeting. But yeah, and it just went through and it did it for all the times. So we can see that a lot of people are going to be at work during the day, which makes sense. Not every user will be. That's why these aren't quite as important. Like Friday, I think only 2 people are working. That's how we're getting this number. But so yeah, and like Sunday, it's just 1 event because it's just free all day long. So that'll be it for that. And that's about it for the thing. We've shown off pretty well, I think. You can make your schedules, you can join a group, you can have the group generate a schedule, which you can look at, which is pretty useful for if you wanted to create a group meeting. And then you've got that chat so you can talk to the people in your group. And you might have to send out that group code via an email, but hey, that's still going to be a lot better than trying to just communicate via text message and figure out what time groups are going to be meeting. So that will be it for our CoPlanner 309 final demo.